Cougars get back right 77-54. Just dominated the last 30 minutes of this game. Somebody told me coming out here that U of H went 20 plus minutes between turnovers, which I didn't even realize in real time. 6 total for the game is, let's see.
That might have helped us win.
That might have been helpful. You had only 1 in the first half. I guess that's good. Go ahead and y'all tell us, Galen, what are your thoughts about tonight?
Personally, I thought it was pivotal that we get LJ going and that we kind of neutralize their guards. You know, they have 2 dynamic guards. And I thought it was pivotal for us to win if we were able to kind of keep them under control, which I felt like we did. They really had to work hard for the offense that they generated. And it was tough, obviously, to score against our defense, let alone at home. So it feels good to get back on the winning side of things, especially against the only team that was undefeated in the Big 12. You know, I think they beat Texas, Kansas State, and Oklahoma State. So they won 3, difficult games, and there's no easy games in this conference. So to kind of knock them off that pedestal, I felt like that was important to get our mojo going.
Mojo is going. Brad, what are your thoughts?
I thought it was a phenomenal game. We asked I guess on Sunday, that it's time for this team to step up and it's time to make this home court hell to play in, and that's exactly what they did. Jamal Shed really, really came into his own and showed you everything that you've heard about him is true. He looks like a guy that just grabbed this team by the scruff of the neck and said, look, we're going to make it happen. And that's exactly what he did. He did everything. It was great all around. And it was a really good all around performance by everybody. Guys that didn't fill up the stat sheet were doing the little things that we need, keeping the ball alive, playing well on defense, changing shots, making them play in uncomfortable positions. So everybody played a key role, but it was great to see Jamal just put everybody in his backpack and take it home.
Okay, Starns, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, this game is about 2 things to me. I think it's about Jamal Shed, and I think it's about home court advantage and taking care of business there. I mean, this is, I think, pretty easily the best game that we've seen out of Jamal probably ever. There may be a game last year, I want to say Cincinnati, or maybe where he was really good. But, I mean, 29-point double-double, 10 assists. I mean, that it doesn't get much better than that. It seemed like you could tell early on that he really was not going to let this team lose a 3rd straight game, especially not at home. And you could see he was animated. He was fussing at guys when they were making mistakes. He was all over the place. And then, you could just tell, with the crowd. I mean, there were a good bit of Texas Tech fans, and Ryan, you were near a couple that were pretty loud.
Good Lord.
But we could get to that later.
Let's get to that later.
But
I have seen enough butt crack tonight for the rest of my life. I don't need to see it again, okay?
But, when in this conference, especially after, the week you just had on the road, you got to take care of business at home no matter what. And they came in here against a hot Texas Tech team, and they smashed them. So you can't hope for a better game than what happened today.
Yeah. I thought the first 7 to 9 minutes were a little disjointed.
Yeah.
You just kind of didn't know what you were getting. And Jamal said in the post game that he was really happy with everybody's attitude at that point. They knew it would turn around if they just focused on the defense, and it did. They got some transition baskets and really got this crowd into it. That was the most fired up we've seen a crowd in the first half in this building. I mean, it was loud, and I think it really never got to that point in the second half, just because you started increasing that lead. But what you saw in the first half was really good. Oh, do you want to talk, Galen?
My bad,
Mr.
but I will
Basketball
say that,
guy.
I will say that's a sign of a good program. You know, you got a group of guys who dropped a couple games by, I want to say 3-4 points on the road, and they're able to come out at home with a good attitude. That's a sign that you have a great program established and a group of guys who are accustomed to winning. You know, because it's easy to lose guys, you know, when you lose, drop one, drop two, let alone, you know, some close games. But I'm glad our guys are able to stay the course and, you know, stay focused and, you know, come out with the right mindset tonight.
So Kelvin gave the team off Saturday or Sunday, which I thought he might do, but still surprised me. And then he said they came out and did 2 film sessions on Monday. Had a morning, had an afternoon, and then practiced. Then did their individual work and practice. And that must have been a fun day for the guys.
You got to know that off day is coming with something attached to it.
Oh,
yeah.
Coach, I remember whenever I was a freshman, and I forgot, I think we might have lost to Harvard, and he had called me in for a meeting. And we lost to a bunch of fucking 4.0 students. But coach is like, Galen, I'm a psychologist. And for some reason, like, my 18-year-old mind, I'm like, damn, coach, you really a psychologist? But he wasn't. He was just kind of alluding to how well that he knew that, you know, that our minds worked. And, you know, everything that he does, you know, there's a reason for it. There's nothing that he does that's not calculated. And, you know, he has a great pulse for whatever team that he's coaching. And, you know, with this team, you know, this being their first year in the Big 12 and dropping a couple of close ones, it's, you know, I feel like he probably had to dig a little bit deeper in his bag because, you know, just to get his point across and to kind of, you know, I guess exercise what he wanted to be, I guess, known and whatnot.
And I think I'd assume you probably mentioned this, Ryan, but Kelvin said that he.
I just wanted to get this graphic in so that we can use it later on. Go ahead, Starns.
But you know, Kelvin said that during shoot around today, you know,
this is good, guys.
However many hours before the game, he just pulled Jamal Shed aside and told him how much he appreciated him and loved him and how far he's come and things like that. And then, of course, he comes out and has the best game of his career.
You talk about psychology.
He knows how to push buttons. You can't push buttons better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's one thing. I feel like it's imperative for a program to
time out, guys.
What?
So here goes Hollis Price, and he's got a full
HP.
He's got no. I want to see the pizza and the Frenchies. He's got pizza piled on top of Frenchies. That's a guy that has a game plan. Sorry, go ahead.
That's got to do it well.
To say, it's
Hollis damn near like ran me over trying to get the Frenchies after the after the press conference.
It don't last long. But it's imperative for your lead guard to feel like you're on his side, and to feel like a guy like Coach Sampson, to feel like he believes in you and believes in your abilities and believes that you can help his team win. It's worth its weight in gold. It gives you a boost of confidence on top of how hard our guys work to go out and do your job. And it makes you want to go the extra mile for him because you know that, like, he's for you, So it's just, yeah, I'm glad Jamal had the type of game that he had tonight, for sure.
Kelvin said in the post game that Jamal is the best face of our program, and perhaps is the best face we've ever had. And he also said that Jamal needed a coach like him.
That's recency bias.
Oh, are we having some issues there? This just in, local man does not agree.
No, I definitely agree, man. Jamal, he embodies everything that Coach Sampson stands for. He's a winner. You couldn't ask for more in a point guard. You know, he does whatever is needed. He wears a lot of hats. You know, I'm proud of his growth and development in our program, and he is the prototypical point guard. Like he is. There's nothing that you could ask. There's nothing more that you could ask for.
So, Galen and I had a conversation offline a couple weeks ago about being an alpha and being an alpha in this program. And Kelvin hit on this after the game, and I wanted to ask you about it. He said Jamal needed a coach like me. He needed a guy that he couldn't bully and he couldn't take advantage of.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you were the same way? And what do you think that he means by that?
I definitely believe I was the same way. I remember Coach had a guy come and analyze our team, and I never spoke to the guy, never even met him, but he hit it right on the head when he said that I had a certain level of stubbornness, and I'm definitely very stubborn. I feel like you have to have a certain level of stubbornness to play for Coach Sampson, and I feel like Jamal, he is that. You know, I feel like the guys respect him, his peers respect him, the coaching staff, they respect him. And when a guy like him, who's respected and who's admired, has the type of game that he's having offensively, it kind of gives everybody else a boost. And you know, when he's going, you might realize that you might not have the offensive night that you might have envisioned that you had. But like when a guy like when an alpha male like him has it going, you just kind of take a back seat and you just do whatever else is needed. But what was the second part of the question? My bad, man. I kind of lost my train of thought.
How much do you enjoy Jamal being called the face of our program, the best face of our program in the last 10 years?
Hey, I love Jamal, man. I'm glad that, you know, I feel like obviously I've known Jamal since before he was a freshman. And it's just when you meet guys like him who are able to carry the torch and take the program to new heights, it's well deserved because he's a great guy. He's a hard worker, and he embodies everything that we would like for our guys to embody. And he's a great example to follow. So it's easy to root for a guy like him because he stands for all the right things. And I'm a tremendous fan of Jamal, of who he is on the court and off the court.
Texas Tech had 18 buckets tonight. Jamal had 12 and assisted on 10 more. That's a pretty good night. Tech only had 7 2-point field goals tonight. I don't remember a game where a team scored over 50 and had that few 2-point shots. They were 11 of 27 from three. They were 7 of 15 from the free throw line. U of H continues to be a very good free throw defense team. And when the NCAA starts to track that stat, U of H will be right there at the top. U of H, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Perfect. 2 in the first half, 1 in the second half. It was on the Jamal,
They're all Jamal
and 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. And we don't even talk about this, but Jamal was on Pops Isaac all night.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's been talking about this guy. What'd he do? He went 4 of 15.
Mm-hmm. I will say
he had 4 turnovers and 4 buckets.
Yeah. I will say when you're watching film with Coach and you got a guy like Pops Isaac who's averaging 17, 18 points and you're a guard, let alone coming off a 2-game winning streak, when you're a guy like Jamal, your pride kind of takes over and you kind of take on that challenge. And it's just, let alone when you're playing at home and the sense of desperation that you have to win. You know, it's a recipe for a bad night for a guy like Pops, because you got a lot of guys who are hungry for a win, ready to get after you. So, like I said, I'm glad our guys, especially Jamal, came out with the right defensive mindset. He led the charge, and I'm glad that we were able to get back on the winning side of things tonight for sure.
Let's look at a few comments, if you don't mind. Sorry, Starns. Galen feels attacked.
No, not at all.
One day we'll shoot more free throws than our opponent.
I doubt that.
No, you will not.
I doubt that. I doubt that. God,
That's
One,
just never gonna happen.
we don't play that kind of offense, and two, we like to foul.
we love to foul.
Very
But we're gonna
at fouling.
With
Some
fouling,
of
for
some of the
sure.
best foulers in the Big 12 Conference are on this.
But
team.
they say you can't call them all. Shit, you gotta
Exactly.
let some of them go.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
JoJo Tugler, if there was a first team all fouling, JoJo makes it as a freshman. He is almost, he probably as at a player of the conference kind of guy in fouling. I like that kid. I love watching him play.
Yeah,
You never know what's going to happen.
I love his activity.
You just never
love his activity.
know. Kellen used a word with us a few months ago, as me and Starnes, and he called it his randomness. And that's a perfect word, because you just don't know where one of those arms is going.
It just going boom, knock some shit, and damn, it's a steal. We
He had
went to
that
a fast break.
He had that
Fast
deflection,
break
and then somehow he went out and used his however long arm and saved it when it looked like it was about to hit a band member.
I thought that ball had
And
no
then
chance
right
of
where
being fouled.
right where
That
Ryan
ball is right where I am. The ball hit this chair, I think, and he was able to pull it back and get it to Jamal. Jamal goes the length of the court and gets it and one.
That was
Phenomenal play. It should be like a Sports Center top 10 type play, but it should
That'll
be because of
definitely be on
what
film tomorrow,
JoJo
for
did.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead, Starnes. Sorry.
you could tell that, I mean, you know, the Cougars never want to give up any paint points, but particularly today, wow.
God damn.
You could tell today that they really wanted to force them out of there and force them into those 3-pointers. And I mean, Texas Tech took 49 shots, 27 of them were from 3. And I mean, they shot 40%, but they didn't get enough shots off. They didn't score enough inside the paint, inside the 3-point line. I mean, it was, and that 7-footer who you and I talked about a little bit, Ryan, Washington. I mean, really.
He plays like a 6'5" guy, though. He does not play with the length that he has.
Yeah.
And Starnes, I just want to let you know that was a great answer. Nobody heard a word of it.
Yeah,
Nobody heard a word of it. I'm sure when we all go back and watch the video, we'll be like, "Damn, look at that star! What the fuck does that say?" Let's look at some other.
Shout out. Well, first off, I want to give a shout out to Coach Kellen. Ryan, you did like a little video of him and JoJo shooting on that
little video.
Yeah, that right side goal. Coach Kells, he done made a tremendous amount of 4s, monsters on that same side goal. JoJo is for sure next up. You had Devin Davis, Fabian White, J1. JoJo, it's about to get ugly for these coming years when JoJo finds his stride for sure.
Oh yeah.
He did a little shot fake from outside late in the game. Thought maybe he'd take that 3.
I did too.
Thought he might take it, but it was a good little fake.
I did too.
So let's look at some comments of anybody that said anything interesting. Great effort by the home team. Can we play the rest of the games at Fertitta? That looks like
shit. Right.
It might work. Gwen, sometimes why?
Yeah, sometimes
they
why.
stood on business tonight.
Shout out to Gwen's consistency.
She really is. She's here
win
every
with
week.
People like her. Absolutely. Yeah. Shout out to Gwen, man.
You know, you need the 29-point nights, but you need that consistency.
Mm-hmm.
You need players that are going to be there every week, and Gwen is there every week.
She's our J1.
She seems nice. I think really made Toussaint struggle. He seemed totally ineffective. There was a lot of that in black tonight.
I will say with a guy like Coach Q in the film sessions, and you know when you go on the court, all the guards were hearing were Toussaint and Pops. That's all they were hearing. That's all that was echoed. So it's just like for those guys to perform how they did tonight, it's no surprise because I know the importance that our coaching staff and stressed on the importance of shutting those guys down.
Yeah. I had one of our subscribers come up to me after the game. People would come up. They would come up and talk to Andy Yanez, and it pissed me off. And now they come up and talk to me, and Yanez ain't there to see it.
He feels important.
And one of our subscribers came up to me, and I was so excited. And this is his comment here. I would guess about 1,500 tech folks. But he was like, hey, he's like, is Galen doing this show tonight? Come on, Diego. Come on, Diego.
By the way, he called Towns the brains of the operation.
No, that was another guy. No, that was Randy Randall Towns.
Oh,
that's a whole different guy.
Oh, that's a terrible thought.
Yeah, angry. I'm just glad U of H won. All the sky is falling. Man.
Hey, Ryan. How many Jayhawk fans do you think tapped into our game tonight?
Quite a few.
I'd say a lot.
Quite a few.
Those guys can't get enough of us. God, damn.
They don't do ratings on ESPNU normally, but the numbers were higher thanks to Kansas fan.
Man, shout out to KU. Rock chalk. Fuck y'all. Starns, what's up, baby? Starns, what's up, bro?
Rock chalk. Fuck y'all.
Rock chalk. Fuck y'all. Hey,
I tell you what, if you put that on a shirt.
Hey, if I had $1 for every time I heard that, god damn, I wouldn't need to do nothing no more. Rock chalk. Fuck y'all. Absolutely.
Yeah. Go ahead, Starns. Help us pull this up and out.
Well, rock chalk. Fuck y'all. Capital F, capital Y, capital everything. We're going to caps lock.
You can reach him at Galen at onesubstantial.com. Just go ahead. Starns.
Why you keep throwing it to me? What am I supposed to do?
I thought you were trying to say something.
No.
Can Jamal win? Yes, he can. And he has to be in the conversation. It's 4 games. But, man, I think from what I've seen, he's the most complete player in the league. From where he was to where he is now, the maturity is, it's what you expect. But you can't expect it, if that makes sense.
I will say in the Big 12, their strength is their guards. And granted, playing defense is a team. It's a team effort, but having to defend those guards night in and night out, that's its own challenge. Like
and that's going to wear a guy out, right?
Absolutely. And to be able to, you're guarding arguably the best players in the conference, and you're leading our offensive charge. That's a challenge of its own. So, absolutely, that's very tough.
Galen needs that shirt when he walks in to Fog Allen and Lawrence.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that'll be crazy. But Ryan, you can't wear that shirt by yourself, brother. You're just a
well, I'm not wearing it by myself. I'm not an idiot.
I'm just saying, I'd happily, if I was able to, pull up with you. Rock chalk. Fuck y'all. Starns
They're
too. Starns too in this olive green. Hell yeah, we'll pull up with Starns too. Absolutely, we got the whole gang with us. Got the whole
Galen.
gang with us.
Galen. I'm a mid-40s, 5'9" white guy in glasses. We ain't pulling up into Lawrence with anything
It's
that
me,
anybody's
you,
not gonna like.
Starns, and I'll get Breon. 6'7", about 240. Yeah, we'll be good. We'll be in good hands.
Right,
Nobody gonna
because
try it.
you give me Breon and JoJo, and we're gonna foul some motherfuckers. Is what we're gonna do. All right, we're gonna get our money's worth. This wasn't just a win; it was a statement win. Tech was leading the conference. It was early, but they leading the conference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
More work to do, but I love these Coogs.
I don't know about you guys.
No,
But,
go take it away, Starns.
but I feel like in the first half, because they got up 10, and then Texas Tech was able to shrink it a little bit. But it felt like Houston could have, been leading a lot more, and then sort of same towards that beginning, middle of the second half before they really broke it open. It felt like U of H was playing just so much better than them, but Texas Tech was just hitting these timely threes.
Timely,
Boy.
off the glass and everything. God damn.
And that was really what kept it in. But it felt like U of H was just almost could name the score a little bit if it weren't for those.
I just feel like it was like offensive uncertainty. And I marked down that, I was paying super close attention to LJ tonight. And
wait, are you taking notes?
Absolutely. Every game I take notes for sure. And he didn't attempt his first shot until 7 minutes and 23 seconds left in the first half. Granted, he made it, but it was just like coming off the games that we've had in our initial Big 12 conference. I guess personally I wanted him to be a lot more aggressive in terms of like hunting his own shot, just because like him being aggressive and as well as Jamal, that really helps our team. But first shot, I feel like he played like a offensively, I guess, timid game in terms of what we're used to, the norm for him. And I'm just looking for, a game that, granted, he made some shots tonight, which is cool, but I'm looking for a game where he gets back to being the LJ that we've come to admire.
He didn't press though, and you can make a case that that's as important. He had 2 first half assists, and he didn't try to do too much. I thought he was going to have a little bit of a breakout. He did not.
I just feel like when you're one of those guys who has like when your light, it isn't a green light, it's like a lime green light. I feel like I'm just used to. I wanted him to press a little bit, just because him being in that mindset. I feel like it's beneficial to our team, and I feel like he had a lot of open looks and a lot of opportunities to attack where he chose to not. And that's for us to be the team that we want to be. That's not the mindset that we need him to have.
He was pretty good on the defensive end.
Absolutely.
And you got to, if a guy's not making shots and he's still doing that, on some level, he's still doing his job.
Shit, you don't recruit LJ Cryer for defense though.
Nope.
Like he is an offensive monster, and I feel like for us to get to the level that we believe that our team can get to, granted, we love when Jamal Shed has games like this, but we're going to need LJ Cryer to be an offensive force for us.
Yeah. Can you say it's a statement win when other teams? Yeah. I think the real only statement wins in this league are going to be on the road. There's really not a lot of statement wins at home. UCF got a statement win tonight in Austin.
How about UCF, man? God damn. They are doing the thing for sure.
They look dangerous.
Man.
They lost their first conference game by 25 points.
On the road.
And then they beat Kansas. And then they go to Austin and win. And, that old Johnny Dawkins,
Yeah, good
Pretty
old
good
Johnny
coach.
Dawkins. Shout out
I
Johnny
mean,
Dawkins, man.
seems like this year. I mean, you can't be surprised by anything that happens in this conference by this point. After all, after
That's
what,
fair.
2 weeks now?
Yeah.
And I think it is a statement win for us. I don't think we need to worry about making a statement for the conference. What we needed,
That's
We
fair.
are the statement. We are the statement.
we needed a get right win, and one where we come back and we're playing like U of H, like the way we play. The team that we played as the last two games, that wasn't this team. They didn't play with the same sense of urgency and a lot more aggressiveness. You saw that against West Virginia, but you didn't see that. It's almost like we went into the two road games thinking, oh, whoa, it's supposed to be really tough here, so we've got to be very cautious. And we played like it.
Yeah.
Now this game, we came out a little bit loose, but then once they got things rolling, then they got the taste of blood and finally started playing and letting it rip like they normally do.
It wasn't an attacking mindset on the road games.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they
We
were just
said
trying to
this
survive.
after TCU. We may have said it after Iowa State. They looked terrible. They just did not look up to the moment. And it was still a one possession game at the end.
That just tells you
in
how
both.
good our team is. For
Yeah.
us to be able to especially at Iowa State
What state?
for us to be Iowa State.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But like for us to be able to overcome that deficit, let alone take the lead with the way some of our key guys are playing offensively, that tells you a lot about our team and the toughness and the grit that we have as a unit.
Right.
And I obviously that was a learning curve, and you go to TCU, that was also another learning experience. And I feel like us losing those couple of games early are going to help us win a bunch of key games late. So it didn't. I feel like it isn't going to go in vain.
After the game, Kelvin said that it's still a learning curve for this team.
Absolutely.
After you lost two first rounders, Tremont Mark, Reggie Chaney, and now Terrence Arsenault, that they're still learning who they are. And the thing that interested me the most is he admitted, I'm still learning too. I'm still learning about this team. And to hear a coach say that in the middle of January, it's shocking, and not in a bad way. In a like, this is a 68-year-old man who is still admits that he doesn't have all the answers. He's learning,
Right.
Yeah.
but he's learning fast. And I was so impressed by that, and I'm so fascinated by leaders who will tell you, I don't have all the answers, but I will.
Yeah.
And
It-
I thought that was pretty cool.
I feel like it's just kind of reassuring to know that a guy who's probably a first ballot in the coaching Hall of Fame can admit
Should
that
be.
he doesn't have all the answers. I feel like it's very reassuring, and to admit that you're learning about your team in the midst of Big 12 play, that's tough to do, because this is definitely, not even arguably, this is undisputably the best league in college basketball. And to be able to admit that, I feel like that's tip my hat to coach for sure.
And I think you could tell, I think especially these last two games, but today as well, that he's still sort of figuring out, what lineups he wants to throw sort of in the middle of games, especially when Jamal is out. I think they subbed in Damian for him today for a little bit, and they're still trying to figure it out because, he's still playing a lot of minutes. And then also one of the things that I noticed was I don't know if I'd seen it, but they put one big and then Ramon Walker at the 4 and then 3 guards. And when
JoJo and Jawan both had 2 fouls, they went to that 4-guard lineup with JBR, and Ramon played really good minutes.
Yeah.
Starns talked to Kelvin about it. after the game, and that's when he got into the learning curve. That he's kind of still learning Ramon and learning him again, and what he can do, and I would love to sit down and just talk to him for an hour about things like that, but we'd never get anywhere.
I mean, we
Let's
know Ramon is a winner for sure.
yeah.
But it's just like I think it was the Iowa State coach who said that like going against a defense like Houston, that's a team that like you'd have to see multiple times, and it with our coach and our team and our unit that's being with this being our first year in the Big 12, it's like we're all like our guys are learning and are growing and they are going into these new environments not knowing what to expect because it's different going into let's say SMU when you're top 25 you know what to expect, but when you're going into a Iowa State or the University of Texas or University of Kansas, it's like that's a whole different tax bracket, than what we're accustomed to. So yeah, rock chalk, fuck y'all, but it's like I respect y'all for sure, and it's like that's not anything that we're accustomed to by any means.
Right.
Let's do something real quick. I want to go back and look at Jamie Hollingsworth's keys to victory for this game. And it was defend the paint. And, man, you got to feel really good about what you did in the paint. So check that one off. No wide open shooters. Well, that didn't work. Speed them up. That definitely worked. Transition buckets were key to the big run in the first half. They attacked the paint. I believe it was the points in the paint was something like 40-4. Am I getting that right? 40-8. And toughest team wins, and that toughest team definitely won this game. Jamie nailed it. The number two, the wide open shooters, the wide open shots is the only reason they were within 40 points in this game because they just knocked down a bunch of wide open shots.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I will say is when you speed a team up, let alone a team on the road playing in a top 5 environment, sold out arena, and granted it was Texas Tech's first time being at Houston in Lord knows how many years, but when you speed an opponent up, it leads to bad shots, which obviously we have great first shot defense and our first shot rebounding is good. It leads to good offense for us, so that helps us, when we're able to speed teams up and get them kind of out of character and taking bad shots that they normally wouldn't take.
Let's see what else we got. I think Ramon earned himself.
I sound good as hell, Ryan. God damn. What you think, Starns? I mean, God, shit.
I sound
good sounding
good as hell. Who can argue with I sound good as hell? All right, here's another person that wants to talk to you. Galen, can you describe how scared Tugler is when someone passes him the ball?
Yeah, it's well, granted, I had the ball in my hands a lot as a freshman, but when you're a freshman big and that's not your role, the game is significantly faster. And whenever his confidence increases in his offensive ability and he's able to kind of mentally slow the game down, that's when he'll take the next step. It's like there's a noticeable different speed between when J1 catches the ball on the block as opposed to when JoJo catches the ball on the block. It's just experience and knowing what you can do and knowing what to expect. And JoJo, he's gonna be all right, but it's just the game is kind of fast for him just because he's so young. But whenever he puts it all together and he knows what's going to be open, what's not going to be open, and what teams are going to do to guard him, that's when the game will slow down, and that's when he'll be able to be more, like, significantly more effective on the offensive end.
Anybody else? Brad, Starns, anything?
I feel like you can see that process happening.
You can see it. You can see it. You can see it
with JoJo, but you could see that version of it, farther along with Javier. Especially, I mean, he had a great defensive game tonight against the Washington kid. and then
Mhm.
sort of second half offensively, he was able to get some touches, get some finishes. You could just see he's getting better every game. It feels like, you know, even the Iowa State game,
More
he was
aggressive
big.
offensively.
Yeah, and then this game he had a good game. If this continues, I mean, it'll just be so huge for this team going forward. Especially, I mean, some of the guys they got coming up next.
I will say that with our post guys, and even with guys that I play who are my teammates professionally, that you have to. I remember coaches always say you have to sell something to get something. So one of the things that I've noticed is like J1. Obviously, he's a lefty, so when he catches on the right block, he's trying to go over his right shoulder to shoot with his left hand. And granted, with Big J, he's right-handed, but he kind of finishes better with his left hand around the rim.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you kind of got to sell going right to set yourself up for better positionally to get back where you want to go, which is get back to the middle of the floor. And I feel like a lot of times they don't really sell anything. They just kind of try to get to where they're money maker, and it's like you kind of got to be more deceptive in order to get to where you want to go.
Right.
And I feel like if they were to get better at those things, that obviously it will give us better options in the post for sure.
You can tell they want to get that hook shot.
Yeah, you could tell. And it's just like I remember early in the first half, J1 kind of took a bad one, and it was just like
he just pushed it.
His right hand was open, like, and he was on the right block. If he would have went right and kind of spun back left, he would have been in a better position, in kind of in the center of the rim to kind of finish better with his left hand.
I think that's what he did that really well in the second half. Is he was getting the ball off the block on the right side, was pushing them to the rim and turning back and having all kinds of room to shoot.
I just feel like though, whenever you're a guy like him who's experienced, you have a decorated collegiate career, you're coming off a 20-point game on the road. It's like all the other team post players, all they've seen is, damn, we got to stop this guy because he obliterated their post players, and it's like you kind of got to use that to your advantage, you know. Right. So it's like you kind of got to be more deceptive because that whole week before that team played us in film, all their post players were hearing was how good J1 Roberts is, you know. And it's just like we can't let him get over this. We can't let him do this. We can't let him do that. And it's kind of you use that to your you got to use that to your benefit, you know. So, right. Yeah, but I'm glad we won for sure. Lack of a better, you know, I'm glad we won.
I'm glad we won. Well, you do sound good as hell. I'm glad we won. Galen, you didn't even see our pre-show thing. You were busy. I'm gonna show you 10 seconds of the intro. All right. All we do is kiss your ass around here. I mean, no. we need to treat you as an equal. We got to stop this.
We are equals, man. We're all united, you know, for the same goal, man. Just trying to give the best talk show, you know. Shout out to
something
Ryan,
like
man.
that. Shout out to Ryan.
Shout out to Ryan for putting this shit all together, and shout out to my guy Starns in the olive green and the helmet hair. Goddamn.
The hair's growing on me. He had the long hair and he cut it and it looked a little odd, but it's growing on me.
Shout out to Towns too. You know, some days he's here, some days he's not. He's like Houdini. Shout out to my guy Towns, man. Shit.
when Ryan lets me out of my cage.
Yeah. Just come whenever you want. Just show up. Nobody's going to pay attention.
He does it for the safety of the public.
Yeah. Let's see what else we have. You started the second half. Starns talking about this a little on an 8-0 run. But, man, it felt like you just outplayed them by a mile to start that half. And when they hit a 3 to make it 8-3, I believe. And I was a little surprised that it was just an 8-0. I went and looked and was like, oh, I can't believe that it was just 8 points, because it just felt like you had just beaten the hell out of them early on. But kept extending that lead and really did what you needed to do. Shout out to Ryan. Coogs growing up in different ways. And more important than that, this was a minute ago. My wife says it's past everyone's bedtime. It's 11:35. I am an elderly person.
He ain't lying. It is past a lot of our bedtime, for sure.
Galen, you're 25 years old. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Come on. So this was a big win. You had to have this win. You could not go into the UCF game at 1-3 in the league. Just was bad.
And one thing I will say is, if I'm not mistaken, UCF they beat us at home, so that is a game that we definitely have to be locked in for. They're
well, they beat you at home.
Yeah, hey brother, I had whiplash. I wasn't. You know, funny thing about that game, I had
that was Taco Fall, right?
I had absolutely Taco Fall, Aubrey Dawkins. Ironically enough, I ended up playing with Aubrey Dawkins my second year pro in Germany. Cool guy, super cool guy. But I had a really terrible fall, and that I think I had whiplash, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. But I remember our trainer, John Houston, he was like, Galen, when I went to the bench, he was like, Galen, what day is it? And I took a crazy ass lucky guess. And I was like, shit, Thursday. He was like, okay, so you don't have a concussion. I was just like, damn, I guess that shit. It sure felt like a Monday, brother. But yeah, we definitely have to lock in on UCF, because obviously they're an American foe and they are definitely on a streak. They've been playing really well, playing with a lot of energy. Definitely have been beating a lot of the top guys in the Big 12. Not to be taken lightly. This is not the same type of UCF team that we might have been accustomed to seeing. They have a newfound confidence, so it's like, yeah, this is about to be a big. That game against UCF is a bigger time game than this game versus Texas Tech.
Well, it is now.
Nah.
So when you lost to UCF,
they beat Kansas and they beat Tech. Them boys are for real.
Let's focus on when you lost to them. It was College Game Day was here. We were on the floor right here.
College Game Day. God damn.
Jay Billis and Reese Davis and all those guys came right here to this cute little floor. U of H had not lost at home.
Yeah.
And then Galen lost to UCF. Right here.
No,
that was a long day.
They played a great game, man. But I will say, obviously that was before we kind of got to the point where we are now. And being able to have College Game Day, you got Jay Billis commenting on our game. That's the type of stuff that you dream about when you're watching college basketball, let alone when you're the hometown kid. Granted, we didn't come out with the win, but I mean, it was just kind of surreal to kind of see polarizing figures in our arena, to see how far we've come and the program that we've built and we fell in love with. And, it was super rewarding to kind of, see all these people who you're used to seeing, for the Dukes and the Kansases, the North Carolinas, for all those guys, to see them there for little old Houston. You can't put a price tag on that.
What happened to the trash can guy? Like, that was actually kind of a cool thing that U of H did here. And it just disappeared.
Yeah,
that's right. I forgot about that.
I think he might have a real career in the medical center.
Right, but I mean, somebody else could have done it. But I remember Discount Rob Gray.
Yeah.
I have not thought about that.
Discount Rob Gray, for sure. For sure.
Sellers leading the charge for him. No, my name is Ryan, not Sellers. I thought McCasley got out coached tonight. I'm going to tell you something. If you're going to put JoJo Tugler on the all foul team, you got to put Grant McCaslin on the call all my timeouts 5 minutes into the game team.
Andy Yanez is on there too.
Yeah. When you're overwhelmed, by, a team like us, when it seems like kind of everything's rolling, you're going to try to do everything you can to kind of get your team back on track. And that's what he did tonight. You're dealing with a team who's desperate for a win, let alone a first ballot Hall of Fame coach. You kind of gotta use all your bullets, and shout out to Grant McCaslin. He's done a great job coaching that team and getting them board. Yeah, I respect.
Shout out to everybody
him for sure. No, but for sure, respect to him. Those guys, they've been able to pull out some tough victories in this the toughest conference in America. So yeah, I and let alone it's his first year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, hats off to him. He was coaching at North Texas last year.
Yeah.
So shit. Yeah, it's a big step up for him, and to get those guys to 3-0 in conference play early on. Yeah, shout out to him for sure.
And Ryan, you were expecting a lot of fouls tonight from the refs. And
boy, I missed on that one. Yeah, I missed on that. You had 3 refs that refed in I believe Boise, Newark, and then Atlanta in a double overtime game. And I have a conspiracy theory, a belief that you get tired refs who've worked 3, 4, 5 games in the last 7 days. Over. Well, no, they're not wanting to run up and down. They want to stop it and get a little breather, shoot some free throws, and then go down there and stop it and shoot some free throws. When y'all played LSU in the first year of the arena, you had TV Teddy Valentine doing that game.
TV Ted.
And there were 70 free throws. And I don't know why I remember that TV Teddy was doing that, but I'm the referee guy and just have that whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But Teddy did that game, and man, that was a lot. Strange to see U of H only had 3 free throws. I'm going to tell you, if the refs could have gotten away with less, they might have, because they did not call anything. And that was a little weird. Let's go around and give our final thoughts, and I'm going to get out of here and go to bed so I can start writing at 6 a.m. Brad, what do you got? I'm not going to get to bed till 2.
You'll still be up at 4 texting me.
I will be up at 4 probably. Yeah. Brad, what are your thoughts of what you saw?
It just great overall. One of the things that your BFF talked about is you got to have amnesia in this conference.
Absolutely. That's a great quote.
That goes for having to forget about the 2 losses, but it also means having to forget about this win. Put it behind you, and because you got to start all over again. If you're hanging on to this win and thinking you've done something really, really special, you can come in and get a job done, and you can't let that happen. So it's starting from scratch every single game. And they're really going to need to put this behind them immediately and get busy doing it all again. Because Saturday is just as big as today.
Saturday is just as big as today.
Yeah, you needed this one, and you got it, and you took care of business. And it's a good win. It was a great win, a very, an impressive win. You played well, but like Ryan, like Town said, you can't get too high or too low now. You lost 2 in a row. You have a good win now, but you got another good game coming up, and then you got to go on the road after that, and then you got to come back and play Kansas State, and then Texas 2 days later, and you got all this.
Yeah,
you just got to keep going. You just got to be. It's important now to not, fans, players, not be too high. Be even keeled throughout it all, and stay flatline, if that makes sense.
Yeah. They'll be back at practice tomorrow, and I don't think he's going to allow for that. I think you'll watch about 13 seconds of the video on this one and move straight into UCF. Galen, what you got?
Honestly, I don't. That's probably a film session that'll probably be longer than the losses because it's easier for guys to. It's kind of easy to learn from stuff that you didn't do well and you had success. So, and I do believe that
Can you explain that to me? Because I think
it's
I
like
missed something.
like defensive breakdown that you had in this game, and that defensive breakdowns that you had in this game, it still amounted to a win. So it's like it's kind of easier to learn when you have success as opposed to like, damn, we lost and he's kind of beating down on us. And I feel like his message to this team, especially around this time, is you can't let the success that you like, kind of how Town said, you can't let success define you. You know, you gotta. It's on to the next one. It's a gauntlet. Every team that you play every night is damn near a top 25 ranked team in the country, and let alone when we're top 5 in the nation. Like we're gonna get every team's best shot on the road or at home, and you know, I feel like a telltale sign to tell what our team's mindset was tonight was Jamal Shed had contested a 7-footer's dunk in the second half up 25. That just tells you where our sense of desperation was to get a win tonight, and I'm pleased to see that. You know, I can't wait to see. I feel like this is the start of us going on a streak. And, you know, I'm just glad that we were able to have the right mindset tonight and our guys were able to come out with the right mindset and, you know, dominate our opponent.
Yeah.
Rock, chalk, fuck, read between my fingers. Fuck y'all, for sure. The middle ones.
Shout out to Starns' mother, who's probably watching this and wondering what her child has
Shout out
gotten
to
into.
Mama Starns, man. Shout out to Mama Starns. We love you, baby. Shout out to Mama Starns.
I don't know what's happening.
Shit. You know what I'm saying? Go Coogs. Fuck Rock Chalk. Shout out to Mama Starns.
How about some of the fan conflict that was going on around you, Ryan? That was
Ryan, what was going on around you, bro? What happened?
So I sit on the aisle, right?
Oh shit!
I am on an island.
The aisle seat are for tall guys. But my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I spin in my little chair and my feet never touch the ground. But I sit on the aisle, and there's nobody sitting next to me, and there's nobody really in front of me or behind me, so I'm kind of all by myself. So I just kind of watch what's going around, you know, like I'm easily distracted. And there was a kid, and I say kid, he looked like he was 12 years old. He had a Michelob Ultra, a bottle. Okay, I don't think it was that funny, Galen. But
that's some crazy shit. Especially when you're in Lubbock. Yeah, ain't any shit to do out there, brother. But probably drink a Michelob. God damn.
Towns, is that still a dry county?
I don't know.
Because it was a dry county when he was in school and I was in school.
Oh, yeah.
And so you had to drive all the way to the county line, and across the county line there'd be these big ass liquor stores because you know you got to make your money. Huge. It was like Specs in Midtown. But anyway,
Lubbock is no longer dry.
Thank you, Starns.
I think they probably
figured there was
that,
some revenue.
They probably realized that, hey, we're just encouraging people to get hammered and get out on the road.
Drive, yeah. So this 12-year-old drinking Michelob Ultras next to me had a diamond earring or fake diamond earring, and every time Tech would do anything right, he would jump out of his seat and like, yeah, and start a Red Raider chant. And I don't know how his voice isn't going to be hoarse tomorrow. God, I'm old. I don't care about, you know, supporting my team. I'm like, wow, I'm going to feel bad tomorrow. I can't do that. So he was doing that, and other people were turning around. There was an older man in front of him, maybe 2 rows, and he was giving him the business. But to that kid's credit, he stayed the whole game, and he kept doing that even when they were down 20-plus points. Wow. And so stuck with his team. That. Yeah, stuck with his team, was consistent. You got to appreciate that. He was a dumbass, but I'm sure he was having fun. Who cares?
I think eventually you get enough Raider rash, you start to go crazy.
I'm not gonna.
Towns, what type of background you got, brother?
Independence Day, baby.
Oh my God, we're just going completely.
Shit.
Did you ever see the movie? Galen, did you see the movie Independence Day? Will Smith?
No,
What?
don't throw the rocks at me.
Oh man,
it was a good movie.
26.
Well, but
I'm sitting out on I-45.
They have movies. He's on I-45 in the movie, and there was this sign. And Houston did not make it through an invasion of aliens. I can't believe I'm having to describe Independence Day to Galen Robinson right here.
I'm gonna tap in, bro. I'm gonna tap in, Ryan. I'm gonna tap in.
It's a Will Smith movie. You should check it out. It's pretty good. This is still a basketball show. Anyways.
Is it really, though?
Is it, though?
Ryan, I love your white humor. It's so subtle. It's so commanding.
I need a T-shirt of that.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
What do you mean white humor?
It's one of those. What does Coach Sampson say? It's like explaining the Atlantic Ocean to somebody who's never seen water. How do you describe it? It's just a feel. It's just I just know white humor when I hear it. God damn. Shout out to Ryan, man. GoCoogs.com. Subscribe motherfucking now. GoCoogs.com. For the city. My boy Starns, my boy Towns, my boy Ryan, and your boy G. Using verse everybody. Subscribe. It's that simple.
And
subscribe. Yep. Cut that one up. We've spent an hour and 3 minutes doing this.
Damn.
And we have spent very little time on the complete ass kicking that Jamal Shed put on, and shooting again, that Jamal Shed put on this team. He was 12 of 16 shooting. I think he missed his first two. And he missed two in a row in the early-ish second half. So he might have gone 12 straight. I'm not sure. Everything he threw at the basket, from our angle, when in the second half, it looked like balls were coming in the basket, and it's like, that's never going to. And just everything dropped. And, I mean, he was on fire. The assists, the two steals, the defense he was playing. You're never going to see a more complete. I mean, unless you saw Elvin play in the late 60s, you just have never seen as complete a game from a Cougar. I guess Akeem Olajuwon would have had some 30-point, 15-block kind of nights. Just looking at old. I'm going to ask you this, Galen, real quick, because we're completely off. I have been looking at old box scores from when Akeem played, and they would go into halftime, and he would have 4 fouls, and they would keep his ass out there just because of how dominant he was, and nobody had that size and athleticism. And he'd have JoJo Tugler fouls, and they just keep him out there.
Yeah.
And so he'd go, they'd come out in the second half, and he'd just play him a 4. Let's tip it, I
will say with a guy like Jamal, when he's aggressive on the offensive end, it's nothing but beneficial to our team. When he's attacking with his IQ and his experience, he can get anywhere. He can make reads at the drop of a dime. And whenever he's having offensive success, or whenever anybody's having offensive success, the game kind of slows down. You're able to get other guys involved. You're able to make reads, and it just looks like Pandora's box has opened. But I will say, like, whenever Jamal, when he comes out and he's not timid and he has the right mindset offensively, it takes our team to another level, to another damn near to another dimension. So it's like, personally, I hope that he maintains his mindset that he has, because it's nothing but good things that's going to happen for our team because of it.
I'm just gone.
I feel. Shout out.
Yeah,
to Tom,
I know.
man.
That's why he's
I'm back. Sorry, I was
Hey,
having
hell no.
I was
Hell
having a
no.
sneeze
Tom,
attack.
where the hell you come from, bro? You just said it.
I was having a sneeze attack.
If we had
Towns
replay,
Houdini. Houdini
if we had
Towns,
replay,
goddamn.
he did.
That shit was insane.
Okay, so they called this guy the Godfather, and he called you Houdini earlier, and you just pulled some Houdini shit.
Definitely
that
pulled
is-
some Houdini shit.
I don't know what
that
I
happened.
He just glitched back into the screen. Like,
That's
hey,
right. I'm part of the Matrix, baby. I don't know what I missed, but as a part of
just Galen talked, and nobody's
this-
really listening.
well, the stats
the
on
usual.
to put in perspective of how good a night Galen had. Optastats put
Galen.
out something. Huh?
You said how good a night Galen had.
I mean Jamal.
Galen said, "Rock chalk, fuck y'all." That's his
Hey
good
man,
night.
the Godfather. You know, it sticks with you. I was in school with his dad.
No, you weren't.
Huh?
You were in school before his dad.
Yeah.
At the very end, I had like 7 senior
Hey,
years.
listen, brother. I can tell your memory is a little. You old as shit. If you,
Yes, yes, you are correct.
Damn.
But
Oh,
he said the tweet was he's the only Division I player in the last 25 years, score 25 plus, dish out 10 assists, shoot 75%, shoot 60% from three, and 100% for line, all in the same game.
wait. Well, that's like 43 qualifiers. So, yeah. I mean, I guess it could be only in the last 25 years, but
It's
That's a hyper efficient game.
Very
an Oscar
efficient.
Robertson
very
night.
efficient game. Yeah. I mean, he's the best face of the program they've ever had. One of the best presidential speeches ever was in Independence Day.
Yes.
What we like about that movie, Galen, is that Houston was one of the first cities to get bombed and just destroyed. And we actually tweet about it every year on July 4th.
That's right.
It's very important to the GoCoogs brand. And we're going to get you involved in that, son, because you need to know Independence Day. Will Smith is so great in that. And who's the president? Bill Pullman, I believe. Is that right, Towns?
I think so. I
All
think
right.
that's
Well,
his name.
You
all
can't
white
really
people
go
look
off
alike.
of
Pullman
memory.
or Paxton, one of those.
It might have been Bill Paxton. I don't know. Hit the like button at least. I don't know what like, but you could at least subscribe on YouTube. I mean, you could at least do that.
Shit, at least you can do.
I was surprised how many blocks Jamal had. Joke. I don't know why I put that one up.
Yeah, that was a bad joke.
Galen pumped up his shots in some games when they were a little off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that it's like, damn, they ain't got it going. Well, shit, he ain't gonna take me out, so I might as well take a couple of cracks at it.
That's fair.
Definitely fair.
We started our final thoughts about a half hour ago. And thank you so much for this calculator person. Loving the show as always. We appreciate it. We're just having a good time. Or
Ryan,
just
I
talking
appreciate you, brother. This is some
Oh, God,
good
here we
shit
go
that you-
again.
man, this is some good shit that you done put together, man. I'm just glad to be a part of it. This is a cool little deal, man. This is a cool one thing that I feel like I'm good at outside of like hooping. This is all right for sure. Shout out my boy Starns looking like Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, looking like the twins with the helmet hair. Shout out my boy, man. Shit.
I have no idea what that means.
I know you don't. He does though. That's why
I
he's
know
chuckling. Oh shit. That's crazy.
I'm gonna
So the
know
next-
we're done when you start saying, "Shout out me, shout out Galen,
Nah,
shout out me."
I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that today,
Shout out
man.
me.
But it's just so the next
Not
game
today.
is when the next game is when
Saturday during the day,
You,
1 o'clock, I believe.
That's elite.
The
Love
women
early
play right
games.
after that, and they did not have a good day in
Yeah,
Morgantown.
I seen that. Ooh.
Yeah, not great. Maybe next time. Oh, but final thoughts. The Mariachi Pumas were here tonight, and they're one of my favorite things that they do on this campus. I love those guys, and
Ryan,
they
that should tell
performed
you a
at
lot about
halftime.
yourself.
No, it shouldn't, Galen. They are great. They are a great representative of this campus and this school. Uh, and it's just, I mean, I don't know that much about mariachi music, but it's really cool that this school embraces the tradition and the history and the culture of this city.
Yeah.
And then you have Frenchies right across the street, so we have culture everywhere.
Quit
And
talking
white
about
comedy,
Frenchies, man. I'm starving.
white comedy.
Culture, white comedy, and black folks, man. Ain't nothing like it, man. Nothing like it. All in close proximity. You
We're a
got
melting pot.
you got
We're
mariachi, white comedy, black folks, and then Starns. It's a wide range. It's a wide range.
We used to have a website called GoCoogs.com, but that's not going to be happening anymore. We're just going to do this show and not worry about all that content stuff. So
Hey,
check
hold
us
on,
out.
hold
Hold on.
Shout out my guy Willie Fritz being courtside. I think I seen it with Tank Dell. Shout
Yep.
out to Willie Fritz, man. Shout out to him.
It
Shout
was a
out to
pretty
him.
Really
good
getting
day.
it done.
I'm really getting a good feeling about that guy.
We just did an hour and 13 minutes, and we did not even talk about Major Applewhite.
Shout
Oh,
out
no.
to South Alabama. We're going to be in the same state. Shout out Major. Really.
No,
Hey, man,
you will
yeah,
not.
shout out
No,
Major.
you will not do that on my show.
Shout out to my guy, fucking Major.
This is now a 3-person show.
Monzo's dying inside now.
You're not going to do that to me.
Look how red he's getting. He's getting fired up.
South Alabama, baby. South Alabama. All right.
At least
darling.
they'll have to figure it out for themselves. It's somebody else's problem. Willie Fritz has done a great job. Everything's going well. But Major Applewhite, I don't know.
Ryan, I'm going to need you to get that one-on-one with Coach Hester.
It's coming. We've already asked for it.
I'm looking forward to that.
We've already asked for it.
A plant.
Major was a plant.
I'm looking forward to it because I think he might literally choke you.
No, we have a history.
That's what I'm looking for.
We're going to be like this.
No, just
Or I'm going to die.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. Has not.
Hey, hold on, wait, Ryan. How many of these do you get that you don't even post? I'm dying to know.
All the ones that are nice to you.
Damn. Damn. Well, fair enough.
Wrong, Ryan.
Fair enough, man.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So I'm going to tell you, we have had an uptick in traffic on the website. And I was like, well, I think we're doing some good stuff. Let me go look. And it was good, but there have been a lot of searches for Major Applewhite. And we've got the definitive stuff on Major.
Oh, yeah.
So people were coming and looking for the Ed Oliver story and why Major failed. And boy, we covered why Major failed really well.
Mm-hmm.
So the traffic has been upticking, and hopefully you South Alabama people keep reading about what you're getting into. This is the Dana Dimble of South Alabama, and it's going to be a hoot. Okay. We're done. It's over. We've had enough.
Look at Starns. Starns man, I can't wait to get fucking home. These lame ass guys and shit and talking about
and Galen.
sports.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I like y'all, man. I like y'all.
I ain't gonna lie, I like y'all. Thank you, Galen. That was
Y'all
very
all right,
sweet.
man. My boy Towns, my boy Ryan, my boy Starns, man. Y'all all right. Hey, come on, bro. Have some decorum.
You know,
When's your next game, Galen?
We play tomorrow. We play tomorrow at
I think
7
we're gonna have to. I
p.m.
think we're gonna have to find a way to find that on stream or something so we
they
can
have a
break
stream.
that game down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am not watching the G League. I just don't. I'm not doing it. We actually did though. We looked at ticket prices for your games, and
Are they astronomically low?
they're pretty low in the arena. You know, the first level there, but then right next to the bench, really high. And we're not doing that. Yeah, we're not doing that. All right, that was a show, and that's it. Thanks, Tim.
That was a
Good job
ass
tonight.
show.
Yeah, it was a really
Shout
good show.
out to Ryan, man. Shout out to Ryan
All
for
right, we
bringing
can
this to
stop
life.
this.
He is the motherfucking guy. He is him. He is Himothy. Ryan Himothy. Yes. Appreciate you, Ryan. Absolutely.
It's after midnight, and Galen's had 2 bottles of wine going, and yeah.
No,
So
not quite.
23-point win. It never felt that close. You never felt like it was in danger. Jamal Shed, his best game as a Cougar. He is maturing and getting better, and he's starting to understand how to play with some new guys, some new pieces. Emmanuel as a starter, and LJ, and uh, better with JBR and Jawan too. And so they're going to keep uh, getting better. Starns and I are going to be at practice tomorrow, I assume, and we'll do this all again Saturday at 1. It's 1, right? I don't know. Saturday, come whenever. But thank y'all so much. Brad Towns, Starns, Leland, Galen, former face of the program. Y'all did great. We're going to, okay, I'm about to choke. We're just going to call that the end. So thank y'all so much. And GoCoogs.com. Subscribe on YouTube. We're getting so many subscribers. We're doing so much damn video content. It's
So
unbelievable how much
much.
interviews.
Like, share, subscribe, do all the fun stuff.
Like, share,
Fucking
and subscribe.
share,
All of
fucking
them.
subscribe. God damn, why not?
That's what all the cool
What do you
kids are
have to
doing.
lose?
Read the
The
Cougars.
Daily Cougar. Read the Cougar. They're doing some good stuff. Sometimes. And so are we. Thank y'all so much. Later.